If you want to get your workout in, go at 5 or 6 in the morning. You know, if you have major things that you're an independent person like us who works on our own, get them done first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Like your priority ones. Your priority one should be your self-care, right? And your priority one should be like major projects you have that have deadlines. You get that shit done early in the morning, the most important things. One, you just started the day with a win, so your headspace is way different. Instead of starting the day like, oh, my alarm just went off 3 times, I hit snooze.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I didn't get my kids up earlier, I didn't get their breakfast made. Now I'm like hurrying them out the door, and I'm giving them a shitty breakfast instead of a homemade breakfast and sitting down and having some time with them. You're just chasing your tail all day long. And I think that that's why it's so important to nail those big things in the morning, because the rest of the world hasn't started moving yet. There we go. Check. Yeah, that looks real good now.
There we go.
Yo, all right, what's up, my man?
Not much.
Yeah, we haven't recorded a couple weeks. We did a couple doubles and then fell behind, and then it's like once we fall behind, it's like you can't catch up.
It's crazy. Yeah, because like you record the 2 and then you miss the 1, and then all of a sudden it's like everyone after that is like a panic.
Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like. I feel like I'm in a panic to get this episode out and recorded and out, and it just shortens the timeline because I got to get to Fahad, and Fahad edits on like usually on Mondays, which is like our Sunday because of the time change.
Yeah.
Usually it's in my inbox Monday morning to post. So I always like to not have that kind of pressure in case something messes up on my end or his end.
Hey, things happen.
So yeah, we'll get this one up and out and on the way. So welcome to the podcast, everybody. This show has been growing and we appreciate it. Getting so many more followers. It's just been awesome. So please share this podcast. We appreciate it very much. Mike and I put a lot of heart into this, and we certainly it's a passion project for us, and
100%.
To hear people listening is just awesome, right?
It is really cool, man. Like even it's cool because like there's a younger audience that's starting to listen to this stuff now.
Right.
And it's really cool to me to see that, because I think a lot of the times, I mean, some of us older guys are always like, oh, the younger generation is doomed. You know what I mean? They're so bad. They don't want to work. They don't want to do any of this. And I spoke at the college last week, and those kids are out there, man. The kids that will work hard and bust ass and like get things done, they're there.
Well, I couldn't believe when you said there was kids at the college listening, and is it because they're in woodworking and somehow came across you and came across this? I wonder how they got to find us is what I'm curious about.
Yeah, so like actually the way that happened is I was talking to the woodworking students at St. Clair about woodworking, and then he started just talking to me about like, you know, the younger generation needs to kind of step up, and we need more masculinity, and we need more like make sure that we're protecting our testosterone levels and all this. I'm like, are you listening to the Tango1 podcast yet? And he's like, no, what's that? I'm like, it's a Tango podcast. It's a podcast that I'm on with Tango Tony. I'm like, you gotta listen to it. He's like, I'm like, you would love it. So I'm pretty sure he's listening to it right now. So I appreciate you if you're listening, bro.
Yes, you got a little bit of a raspy voice going.
I don't know what it is. Is it good? Is it sexy?
No, I mean I wouldn't go that far. We'll
Damn
see
it.
what the listeners think. Bucket List Coffee again, second episode in a row. No, this stuff is awesome.
It really is.
Isn't it so good though? It's like the best. I love how it tastes.
It's rich. Some coffees get like all acidic and then it like loses its like the relaxing flavor.
Yeah, man. Last episode with Austin, we dropped with Austin, director of training here at the Garage Gym. Man, we got so much feedback on that one. People were loving it. I don't know that we've ever done an episode that did such a good job of explaining what we do in terms of training at the Garage Gym.
Yeah.
People know like we exercise, we lift, and all those things. Culture, all that stuff. We talk about that all the time. But the actual breaking down the X's and O's of the training, I think was like beneficial for the Garage Gym. Like it wasn't why we had him on here really, but like I know we're making a bunch of reels. Fahad's gonna be working on stuff to release because there's just so much nugget. Like isn't that guy smart?
Honestly, dude, like it's funny you said that. Like it was focused kind of around the gym. Like I've worked out with you guys so many times, and I just follow what you're doing. But like learning from him, like what is actually happening when we're doing these things was really cool and interesting to like hear the back end of, you know, what is actually happening during the workouts here, which was super cool to me.
I'm not gonna lie, I might own the place, but I was even impressed by how much thought goes into what he's doing in programming. He's just taken that. I said it right on that show. It was the last thing that I was willing to give up. I was like, I am never giving up programming. I said it right here in not this room because we was at the old gym, but the old gym's meeting room, the war room there that you've been in so many times, was like, I am not giving this spot up. Mm-hmm. This is us. This is our bread and butter. I'm the programmer. The program is what brings people in. And he has just taken that and like, man, I was working down here and he's working up here. It's insane. And then the people who have joined that strength squad, which are semi-private groups that get like specific programming to them, that's on a whole other level. And these people murdered it. They got their scans back. So they did a 12-week scan in, scan out. Like, talking like, you know how hard it is to lose fat but gain muscle? Like it's hard to do both, to lose weight and gain muscle.
Yeah, like your weight almost stays the same.
Right, like if you're gonna go on these people, and I should kind of preface that with these people were on a cut. They were all here to kind of do a cut, a little bit of a shred, to actually shred but still maintain, or in most cases gain muscle and gain strength. Like all of their numbers went up.
That's amazing.
It's insane. And it's just kudos to what he does, and to those people for the work and attention to detail that they're doing, right?
100%.
Because like the plan is only as good as the execution, right? Like you can come up with the best playbook, but if you don't have the right players to execute your game plan, you're gonna lose.
Right.
So those people, good on them, man. I'm super happy for them.
100%. It's a challenge, man. Every day's a struggle sometimes when you gotta like, you know, make sure you're eating your macros and stick to your foods and like make sure you're getting the gym in, the cardio in. Like I don't know exactly what you guys are doing, but like staying to that schedule is tough. It can be tough.
Yeah, for sure. Even for me, like, and so I started. I'm on a little bit of a macro thing right now. It's the first one. Marcella, you've met Marcella plenty of times. Crazy Marcella, there, crazy in a good way. It was. She is doing my macros. She just completed a course, and I'm going to be her guinea pig. Me and Austin. So she's got me on a plan. This is day 2 of it. It's it's a lot. I got 2,900 calories, so I'm taking in like 220 grams of protein, but I feel great. The added like energy, I got more sleep this week than I normally get, but I feel great. What about you? How you been eating? You been training?
I have not been training. I've been like nose down, working like on. It's crazy to me. I'm spending like 13, 14 hours right now, like on the computer, like building, and it sucks. But I need to get past this because I'm on a time crunch with the baby, and I'm like, I gotta start training.
Yeah, that due date is like when?
Any day. Like it could have happened tonight.
Like we got to keep our phones on for the podcast kind of thing. That's wild, man. And like I told you, both my boys were early.
Yeah.
Like significantly early, like in a healthy, significantly early, right? I guess.
Like after full term, like we're all good to kind of like continue with the plan that we're on.
We were like 2 weeks early or something like that. 16 days early. It was early enough.
I think, well, whatever it was 37 weeks, and we passed 37 weeks on Tuesday this week. So anything happens now, like baby's fully cooked. The bun is in the oven.
Oh boy, this is a big deal.
Yeah,
this is a big deal, man. You ready? You got what's built? Is there anything left to be built? I remember being at the hospital and thinking like, God damn it, I didn't put that thing together.
Oh, the nursery. I think it was totally
the crib, not the crib. The like, there's like a different kind of crib. It looks more like a playpen, but then it's got a thing for like when the baby's really small,
like a bassinet.
Yeah, I didn't have that thing together. I'm like, God damn it, I was supposed to put that together this weekend. And I put it off so many days. I just sat watching football. I could have just put it together.
Yeah.
You got anything like that that's still on the to-do list?
No, I think like it's not like putting together. It's more like removing stuff. Like we kind of went through a little bit of a purge this year, just getting rid of stuff. But like the birth tub is up and going. Like,
I forgot about this whole deal. Oh boy.
I had to hook up. Like I got plumbing run through the house, like so we could fill up the tub and like moderate the water, and we got the pumps to pull the water out. The tub is in the living room. Like this is a whole thing that's happening, and it's pretty sick. We're working with a doula and a midwife, so it's gonna be full on. It's just gonna be full on. That's the only words. Like that's, like I kind of just trusted Lisa with whatever she wanted to do, and I just got right behind that, and like that's what we're doing. Like I'm not gonna sit here and give my 2 cents. I'm doing whatever you need.
Kudos to you, man, for that.
And like I'm standing behind it. So I gotta be my best. I gotta be the best version for her, like in her eyes. Like what is that going to look like for me during that time? Because it's gonna be gnarly. Like Lisa is a badass. It's gonna be gnarly, bro. No drugs, no nothing. Like it's like full on raw. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh boy.
Bro, I'm gonna turn into a puddle. I will promise you right now, I will be a puddle. I will be crying my face off. I already know it's like hard to even think about it. Like just like going through the motions in my mind, I'm like, oh man, I don't stand a chance. I don't stand a chance at not crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I'm a crier too. And speaking of crying, some terrible news. We lost Austin, who is one of our favorite Special Olympians that's been in this gym. He succumbed to some medical issues. We're heartbroken. Austin was like one of our favorite lifters. You've seen him on our videos.
Yeah.
He was just full of energy. I'm going through the pictures last week when I got the news from his family, and it's like that little guy, man. Like there's not a picture where he's not smiling or flexing or has his arms around me or all of the above. That's just like awesome. He brought such a light into my life, and I know into so many people at the Garage Gym Army, and amongst, not to mention his family and his friends and everybody else in his life. So he is going to be deeply missed. It's been a rough week for us getting that information, and tomorrow we're gonna fuck you Friday for Austin, and we're gonna throw down hard. We're gonna deadlift. We're gonna do all the things that he loved. He was famous for yelling out, "Yeah, buddy, lightweight." And just hammering those lifts. So we're good tomorrow. We are going to lift for him in his honor, and hopefully smile and cry a little bit for him. So
that's
shout
amazing,
out to Austin.
Man. Sorry about Austin for sure. That's a sad thing for sure. I mean, it's cool. Only seeing the photos. Like I've never actually met him in person, but seeing the photos, I've seen him in videos. And the dude was a light. Like that's a nice thing to be able to say. Like that dude was a light. You know what I mean?
He was, and then so full of love, man. So full of love. Okay. So moving on before I get too teary-eyed here.
Yeah.
All right. So we got, like every episode, we got the Morning Wood, sponsored to you by your buddy right here. Speaking of buddy, my buddy, Mike DeFazio, and his new program, which is killing it right now.
Yes, Maker's Legacy, man. I am coaching woodworkers right now to build a company that is going to essentially leave a legacy, and that's what I'm really focusing on, showing these guys not just how to be builders, but how to build a company from building. So, and then from that, like how to use the profit after you make it kind of thing, which is the full circle, in my opinion. At least doing the plan that I did, flipping everything I possibly could and just buying as much real estate as possible. So that was my jam, and that's what I'm going to teach. So.
Awesome. So the Morning Wood, so where we take a question or comment from a listener and we roll with it. And this one's coming from a loyal customer of the Garage Gym, loyal listener and longtime friend, Steph Kidd. Okay, she's a very talented photographer too. If you're looking for, she niches in children and family photos. So if you're looking for some family photos, give Steph a call. But her question is, I would be happy to chat with you in regards to taking some killer. Oh, that's something totally different. Oh no, chat. Sorry, Steph. Here we go. I would like to know, in the mornings, what do you do to wake up and meet the day? How do you practice gratitude and put yourself in the right headspace to start your day?
I know this. I used to not know the answer to this.
Really, I'm curious because I feel like this is somewhere where I'm more of a natural meet the dayer. Like I don't probably do enough to meet the day. And during COVID, I really, when I was locked inside, I started really to do this because I was having some dark places. So I'm curious to hear you talking about this.
I found mine. Like I now have what I would describe as the plan for a perfect morning. And bro, it's like
get out your pens.
It's like superpower. Get out your pens, all right? And it sucks. But it's awesome. Okay. So my perfect morning, the way that I had it, obviously it's going to start the night before. My clothes are packed. My bag is packed. Everything's ready to go by the door. Essentially, I wake up right in the cold shower, 5 minutes standing in there and just trying to loosen up the body, shaking arms and whatever, kind of loosen up the body in the cold shower, 5 minutes, not 2 minutes, not 3 minutes, 5 minutes, just enough for it to suck. Get out, get ready, get the clothes on that I put out from the night before, get in the truck, go to the gym, and at the gym, my body is warming up from the cold shower. So I'm actually warming up with a workout, which is awesome. 45 minutes to an hour there, then I jump in the sauna. So sauna, I'm in there for anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. That's my alone time. You guys can do whatever you want. I pray a little bit, but that's kind of praying, visualization, meditation. That's kind of my jam in there. And then I get out, go to the shower, and then I'm at the shop for 7. And then I have an hour of alone time in the shop actually working. But I guess I should probably mention I shower after the sauna. So I shower and then I go to work because it's 7 a.m. I've had 2 showers. I've got a workout in. I'm totally charged from the day. And I'm you can't even touch me at that point. When I feel when I do that, in the morning, you can't touch me. You couldn't even do something that would wreck my day because I killed it before you woke up.
Yeah.
And that's the best feeling ever.
I love it. And there's so many people have so many things that they do. I know a lot of people journal and stuff in the morning.
Yeah.
A lot of people. So my issue with why I'm not more of a natural, I say, or more of a natural meet the day is like my day starts.
Like my actual work day where I'm dealing with people, customers, starts at 5 a.m.
Yeah, super early, dude.
So I am not really getting up much earlier. I do get up at 3:45. I like to be here at 4:30. Much like what Mike said, like I jump out of bed. I have my clothes laid out from the night before. I shower the night before so I don't have to shower in the morning. I actually take cold shower at nighttime, just like you do. 5 minutes in that cold shower.
I've never tried that at night.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people say it wakes you up, but I feel like it cools my body down and lets me sleep better.
Interesting.
So I do take that shower at nighttime. Sometimes I take a midday as well. I just love cold showers in general.
Awesome.
So I'll do that. And then, but my eggs or whatever it might be, usually it's eggs, are already whipped up from the night before. Actually, my youngest son, Braun, has started to he puts 4 eggs and a cup of egg whites and a little bit of spices that he does, his specialty spices.
Come on.
He mixes it up a lot of times for me when I'm working or if we're at practices and we come home. The boys really show that they appreciate me coaching them. So they do get some eggs and stuff right. So I can boom right in the pan. Danny's got the coffee. I'm out the door and I'm here. I do try to be here by 4:30 no matter what gym I'm working to make sure that I am prepared for the members and in the right headspace for the members. So, I have my coffee. I watch over some of Austin's videos that he sends out that are making sure, explaining movements, making sure they're at the tip of my tongue. Because you know what? It doesn't matter how experienced you are. There's got to be, I don't know, who knows how many millions of variations of different muscle movements movement patterns that we do in the gyms. And to making sure that I'm on point and ready to explain and really get these people so that people like Steph Kidd who comes here at 6 a.m. and people like the people that come here at 5 a.m.
who are trying to do exactly what you're doing are getting that from me. So they're coming in, they're getting their I'm going to dominate this day experience, and it's not being dragged down by me being oh, I'm so tired today.
Yeah.
Or me being unorganized. They come into a perfectly organized gym and it's let's go.
Yeah.
Right to it, and let's get some charge into that thing.
That's amazing, man. Yeah, you have to and it's not only just for the members. You got to show up for your team members too. They got to know you're on point.
Right.
Almost make them nervous if they're showing up and they're still got sleep in their eyes and you're fully charged. What's up?
Right.
You're gonna make them a little bit nervous. I used to do that with my guys in the shop too.
Yeah, and whatever it was, a year and a half ago when we had extra bodies in the gym in terms of staff wise, and I wasn't working every morning. I was getting up. I don't like working out first thing, but I was getting up. I was hitting the cold showers. I was reading. On a Saturday morning when I don't work, I get up. I have coffee. I go out, sit in my sunroom, which is a beautiful room
nice.
It's either really hot or really cold, which I kind of like both ways.
Nice.
I watch the sun come up generally, and I have a coffee in the quiet and kind of just hang out. Usually the boys will crawl in there eventually, and by the time they're there, I'm I've already had peacetime. I've already had time without you would call that your God time. For me, that's just looking out the sun and just appreciating life, which is I think very similar to prayer. I just don't know who I'm saying it to, maybe.
Fair enough.
Right, and then my boys crawl in, and a lot of times we'll throw Sports Center on and that's kind of it. But that's how I start my days off. So my days during the week, maybe I'm not the right person to answer that question because I do that. A lot of the stuff that people do in their morning routines, I do at 2 p.m.
Right. Yeah, you have a whole different world.
Right, so I kind of twist mine upside down. I kind of work in the morning, and then it's I got to find my way to meet to prep for my day in the middle of the day because that's when I've already been up for a long time, and if I have to give of myself to my family and the kids that coach and all those things.
Crazy, man. Yeah, you wake up crazy early, dude.
Crazy early, dude. It is really early. Really, really early, especially when I go to Kingsville and it's been foggy lately, insane fog. It's been some hard drives. The other day driving to Kingsville, I was man, I might actually have to pull over because I think I'm going to fall asleep on the road. That doesn't happen too often, but that's when, we talk about the podcast. When you fall behind, it's very hard to catch up.
Yeah.
So this weekend and last weekend, we had weddings for the staff. Riley got married last weekend. The weekend before that was
Ajay's. Amazing. So grateful to be there. And it's a whole aha moment we can talk about maybe later about just having all the staff growing up in front of me and to think that they're paying for things from this, or making their lives from this is pretty wild.
That's beautiful, man.
But anyways, my point is I fell behind. Mm-hmm. Normally on the weekends I catch up, but I fell behind. I had crazy busy weekends. come into Monday, my busiest day, and then you're just playing catch up. Like we talked about the podcast, it's like you're never getting ahead.
Yeah.
Just trying to catch your tail. And that's why I think like routines like Steph asked about, and like the ones that you have, are so important. Routine and discipline equals freedom.
Yeah.
You need to get out, and when you're in that fight or flight mode that you are when you're chasing after like deadlines and things that you're missing, or just sleep, you're just not in the right headspace to deal with anybody. You won't be right for Lisa, you know, who's, you know, probably a little bit hormonal right now. You know, like you're going to be like more short-tempered when she needs you the most, and you're going to be that way with your mom, or you're going to be that way with your dog even, who like just wants to go out for a freaking walk and he's driving you crazy, nudging you. That's how it is.
Yeah. For sure, man. And like that's the one thing that you kind of can control when you can't control, like when you can't control your surroundings. The one thing you can control is your actions. And I think falling back to that, and I know I need to get back to that. This is the part that's driving me nuts because I haven't. But like getting to the point where like that is the reset. That reset allows you to start to control what you can control again, and like you can start to have a little bit of, not momentum, but you're not just a train on a train track anymore. You're like you control the pace of things. You're just on point, I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, for sure. Those routines just make you, I don't know, I feel like you say all the time, they make you a weapon.
Yeah.
They make you into a weapon, a sharpened axe.
100%.
Yeah, so, man, good on you for doing that, and I hope that helps answer your question, Steph. But you know what, Steph, you come in here all the time, and you're always smiling, and so many people are. And I'm always amazed. I brag about the 5 and the 6 a.m. classes in all 3 of our locations, because they are the people who legit barely ever miss.
Right.
Like, if you want to get your workout in, go at 5 or 6 in the morning. You know, if you have major things that you're an independent person like us who works on our own, get them done first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Like your priority ones. And your priority one should be your self-care, right? And your priority one should be like major projects you have that have deadlines. If you get that shit done early in the morning, the most important things, one, you just started the day with a win. So your headspace is way different. Instead of starting the day like, oh, my alarm just went off 3 times. I hit snooze.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I didn't get my kids up earlier. I didn't get their breakfast made for them. Now I'm like, I'm hurrying them out the door, and I'm giving them a shitty breakfast instead of a homemade breakfast, and sitting down and having some time with them. You're just chasing your tail all day long. And I think that that's why it's so important to nail those big things in the morning, because the rest of the world hasn't started moving yet.
Right.
The people who have 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock workout times, very consistent, but like, when is shit going to happen? 2, 3 in the afternoon, your kid's going to be sick at school and need this, or your boss is going to need this last report done because a big customer just came through the door. Like, there's going to be something come up.
Always something, yeah, for sure. It's crazy. That's the way. It's funny because, like, I mean, obviously I'm human. Like, I tell you this badass routine that I said that I do, but like, you know, I fall off it every now and then. Like I just said on this, like I'm not on my A game right now, but I at least know what the perfect morning looks like because I found it, you know, or created it, whatever you want to call it. Like I know what that level of my life looks like, and like I guess maybe I'm just struggling right now to get back to it because I know how good it is. I know how like impactful it can be.
Absolutely.
Like, Mike, what are you doing, bro?
Absolutely.
Go to the gym.
It's so funny because like, it's one of the things I love about this podcast. One of the things I love about going to coach people in person or the online clients I have. It's practice what you preach, man. Yeah. I'm explaining this to you or to somebody else, and I'm like, man, I haven't been doing that lately.
Yeah.
I haven't been doing that lately, and guess what? My workouts have been shitty. My relationship has been shitty. I've been treating my kids. I've been crabby with my kids. It's all those things that you're not doing.
Yeah.
So that's a great reason. That's a great part about what I do for a living is like it's a quick gut check when somebody presents you with a problem. You give them the solution. You're like, man, I got the same problem.
Right. Yeah. Straight up. Right.
And I know the solution, and I'm not doing it.
I mean, it is like one, if you can admit that, that's fantastic on your part, right? Like, you'd be like, okay, I know I have the answer, but I'm just not doing the work. Then it's just like, someone's just got to check you at some point. What are you doing? I know, like, I need that right now. So hopefully this is it, because I got to start making the change at some point. You know, I'm just giving myself the excuse that I'm so busy and I'm on a time crunch and I have to do this and I have to do that right now. And like, I actually wonder if it would be less... If I actually want, I should probably actually test this part, because I actually wonder if I would be getting more done if I took that time in the morning. If, you know, I was able to get a clear head and like kind of, you know, sweat out all the shit in my body, like just to start on a fresher note kind of thing. I guess I gotta try that.
If there's anything I could buy, it'd be a sauna, man. I wish I had a sauna.
Yeah, just sweat.
And I wish the freaking town or whatever it was that made us put these huge handicap accessible, you could change an adult male in the bathroom here. So it's 3 times as big as it was supposed to be. I wish that could have been like a sauna or you know, something like that would have been amazing.
Just get one of those big round ones, stick it in your backyard. That would be fantastic.
The neighbor across the street just put one in, and it looks unreal. I dropped some stuff off there yesterday for her, and I was down by her waterfront there, and I was like, oh my god, she put this sauna in that like overlooks the sunset. It was like wild how nice it looks.
Oh man.
But yeah, so I was going back to Riley's wedding. So Riley worked here from, man, I don't know, about 2020 until about
a year and a half ago. And
in 2000, it's hilarious about Riley is when we first moved to Amherstburg, Danny and I.
There's Bart and Nikki. We're really the only people we knew.
Okay.
So Bart's like, hey, we play on this baseball team. Why don't you guys come out? It's co-ed.
Danny and I both ball players, and we're like, yeah, you know, it'll be fun, get to know some people. This team ends up being like,
becomes the core of who, I guess, started the garage gym with us. Like Dean was on that team.
No way.
And Riley's parents. So Riley was probably 13 or 14, and her parents ran the team, and we would go back to their house. It's out in the county. We'd have big bonfires after the game. Everybody'd swim, and Riley'd be there like a 13 or 14-year-old kid swimming, you know, with her like friends and her sisters and her brothers. It was like hilarious. And then Riley ends up working for us, and she's working in the smoothie bar, which obviously failed, right? The smoothie bar was like an outside agency working within us, and we loved her, and we're like, why don't you start working, you know, here at the gym? And she was terrified of working on the floor. She didn't really have the confidence, hadn't found her voice yet, and she starts doing the online sessions on Zoom. And then from there on out, was like never scared to talk in front of people again.
Perfect.
And she goes on to chiropractor school now. She's here getting married. And her father actually, you know, gave shout out to the garage gym as a place where she found her voice. And like, to me, that was just, you know, seeing,
you know, we've got Kieran now, who's working for the Windsor Police. We got
Casey, who's a fireman. Marissa, who's like a underwater welder, like a real job, like a real cool job. Like that's a real job. It sounds like it's a fake job, underwater welder, but that's what she does.
That's crazy.
And just it's just crazy to see all these people who have, you know, we're so proud of Joe and Nikki who've stuck with us, Steph, forever. But we're also very proud of the people who built their careers from here. Garrett and Johnny, both police officers. It's just seeing all these people go spinner, becoming a SWAT guy, just got person after person. And the funny thing that I wanted to say about Riley, because a story that I'm surprised a lot of people don't know. We did that, you know, there's a thing that goes on that supports CMHA, and it's a bunch of businesses in Windsor go and you compete. It's like obstacle courses and stupid games, and like it's fun. That's really fun. So we did it, and it was like basically an amazing race through the town. And the race is over. We end up at Winology, and we'd had some drinks. And so it's me and Riley, and I don't know, maybe Nikki's there. All of us were there at one point, but I think me and Riley might be the last people standing, for lack of a better word. And there's a server, and he's a handsome dude, right? And he kept cracking me up. Like, I love this sense of humor. So at the end, I say to him, I go, hey, you should give this girl your phone number. And I'm like the old man, you know, I'm the 40s Riley, you know, super attractive with like 20-something girls. She's like, shut up, stop, right? And so I laugh, I like the old dad, and I'm doing the old dad jokes here. And 10 minutes later, this guy comes back, and he hands her a piece of paper and says, just in case you weren't kidding. This ends up being Jack, who she now marries.
That's awesome.
3-4 years later. Is that not insane?
That's awesome.
Yeah, so at the wedding,
they told this story and asked me to stand up, and everybody clapped for me. And I was like, oh, like this. It was hilarious.
It's all your fault.
It is just wild, though, that's how that went down. It's unreal.
That's such a funny story, man. That's awesome. Nice. Yeah, you're building people, man. You're like, there's the culture here. That's this like. You attract a specific type of person here, and you're watching them flourish here. I'm talking like not just your members, like your team members. Sorry, like the actual people that come here too. Like you got like badass people working here and coming here. Like it's awesome to be here.
Yeah, it makes me proud. People will be rolling in here soon, and you know, to see their smiling faces. And
also to know that they also know that they've had a part in helping us
100%.
to get to where we are and to live our dreams. And like they all feel part of our kids too. Our kids are in here so much, and you can see
All the kids
you can see how like happy that people are to see Colton getting older and to see Braun getting older, and that they remember them when they were just little, and that,
Yeah.
and I feel like, yes, their investment goes to getting them fit, and that's their end goal. They're not just donating to the Smith family. But I feel like it does make people feel good to see our family doing well.
For sure.
And knowing that, their hard-earned money and their hard-earned sweat that they do in here goes to us, raising our kids right and living our happy life as well.
This is amazing. It's an amazing thing, man. Like, that's why I think small towns have something so special, man. I've always said that small towns are going to save the world, and it's because everybody gives everybody else their money. Like, it's a little economy here. Like, like we're drinking the coffee shop next door. That guy used to come here or whatever it was, something like that, something along the lines, right?
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So like, there's just like there's this small community, but like I honestly feel like we got like big city problems, then we got small town like. This like cute little small town stuff. Like what you just said is awesome, man. Like that doesn't happen everywhere. And I think it's really nice. And I think small towns are going to save the world because of what you just said. Because that.
I think in your big cities too, you can really accomplish that in a lot of ways by having your own communities, the bad word, the culture. But in the garage gym in Windsor is really becoming like that. But I feel like we shut those doors in that little dirty ass garage that these people work out in and that I work out in, that I train in, and it's just like we're like segregated from the world. It's like for that hour it's just us, man. Throw down. Nobody cares if you're sweaty. Nobody really cares if you're stinky. Like it's like you're seeing each other at 6 a.m. probably. This is probably not how anybody shows themselves to the world, like
right.
this,
like before you're all done up kind of
thing. Like we have these events and you're like, oh, like I literally just as I'm getting the coffees for us before the show, I run into a girl who comes here every day at 6. I'm like, and it sounds so insulting. You're like, oh my god, you look so pretty in your work stuff. Like, it's not like you don't earlier, but it's like I've never seen you all done up. Like you look fantastic. You look so healthy.
That's so
like
funny.
they're coming here in the morning and really like nobody judges how you look here in the morning. Nobody cares if your socks match. You're like, as long as you come in,
you made it.
Effort and attitude, man.
Yeah.
Like as long as you do that and you support each other, nobody really gives a shit about nothing else.
It's actually awesome, man. Because I mean, like you guys are these workouts are they're tough. Like, and it's just tough because it's like it takes me out of my comfort zone too. And like I've trained a lot, and it's like coming here, it's like I get my ass kicked every time. So you come here early morning, getting your ass kicked, hanging out with a great group of people. It's like it's cool to see that type of culture and like community.
So something I found cool is you've kind of shifted gears in what you're doing for business, and you're getting some clients, and I see you working with people. Also, what makes me really proud is that you hired Fahad, man.
Yeah.
So now you're working with Fahad, and like that's okay to say that. I hope if not cut it out, but like
working with Fahad,
man, like guys, I'm telling you, Fahad's behind the camera. Not really, he's behind the editing, but he is part of my team. Now he's part of Mike's team.
Yeah,
and we were talking before we got recording, like how much we just love this dude.
Yeah, straight up. Like I'm watching this guy. Like I mean, dude, don't take this the wrong way because I know he's listening to the podcast. But like,
he listens to every episode because he's editing it.
So I had no idea what it was like on the other side of the world like that. Like I had no clue. Like wherever he's at, I don't know the exact little spot that he's at, whatever. But like, it's just such a different thing to see it. And like the dude's training MMA. He's riding a motorcycle. He's hanging out in a nice office space. He's got a team. I'm like, it's just a normal dude. He's just a normal dude over there, like just doing cool shit. Like I think I would hang out with this guy here. And we were like, Tony and I were just saying that we wish he lived here so we could hang out with him.
I think though it gives us more of a reason to go there.
Oh yeah,
because I would probably never go there.
True,
but maybe I will now.
Right,
maybe we will once you get through this whole baby thing.
Let's give it a couple months before we throw that one on Lisa. Like, hey,
yeah. Oh yeah, Lisa will be like, "You're going without me."
We're going to an editing road trip, Tango1 Podcast road trip.
That would be sick.
Yeah,
that would be sick.
One of our Tango1 reels, Tango1 Podcast reels, hit 1,000 views on YouTube last week, which is a big one for Fahad. Messaged me, he's like, we finally did it. We hit 1,000 on YouTube.
That's
and
great.
I'm like, when can we actually get paid? How many views you gotta get to like Mr. Beast?
I don't know.
How many views you gotta get paid on this YouTube thing?
I don't know.
Because that would sure be nice.
That would be fun, right?
Yeah, just like have some money in our account because we're hanging around shooting the shit like this.
Yeah, I follow a couple guys that get paid from Facebook, like Instagram, TikTok's a big one. Some of these guys making bank on TikTok.
Oh God,
I don't even want to download the app because I already know I'm bad with my phone. I can't imagine that.
Oh, I don't want to be on anymore. I started on TikTok and I made it only, and Snapchat too was another one. Like I deleted them both almost within months of opening them because it was like, oh my God,
all I need is another one.
There's nothing helping me here.
Yeah.
I know there's educational pieces on TikTok now, but man, it is not. I don't need any more of that
Hey
on
man,
my phone.
he's
I already have a
posting
problem.
it. He's posting it. I'm like, bro, do it.
Yeah, so get this. I approach him about, hey, like, what about you start actually posting my shit for me? He's like, okay, yeah, I got an opening coming up. Well, of course I dilly-dally on it. I don't really think much of it. I'm like, hey, can I take advantage of that opening? He's like, oh, actually, it's been taken. I go, tell me it wasn't fucking Mike who took it. He's like, actually, it was. I'm like, you?
What?
Yeah, so you took my spot. So he doesn't have enough openings to post my shit because of you.
Figure it out, bro.
Every time I see one of your things, I don't like it now because on
Dislike
purpose.
button.
On purpose.
Dislike button. That's so funny. He'll figure it out. He'll get another. He'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm watching him grow his agency over there. We're watching you, bro.
Well, don't forget, Fahad, you gave my spot to him. Who introduced you to him? Remember this.
That's amazing.
So you getting the old haircut today? Getting ready for baby mode?
Yeah, I gotta keep it up. There's a couple times this year I kind of like slipped. I try to go every 10 days, just to keep it nice and fresh. But dude, there's a couple times this summer, spring, summer, like beginning of fall, I was going like 3 weeks. And I'm like, bro, I come into the barbershop, I look like a homeless guy. I'm always dirty. I got cut pants. I don't smell that great. And like without a fresh haircut, I just look homeless. So I gotta keep the hair at least.
Well, I mean, I know because you and I we were out promoting the podcast to a big group of people last week, and I'm like, hey, can you come to this thing? It'll be great for us in our show. Mike's like, yeah. And what was my response to you that Lisa loved?
She's like, put on some fancy pants and put on some deodorant.
Yeah, I'm like, basically, you don't need to dress up, but don't stink.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
And then you're like, well, I'm coming in cutoffs. I'm like, no. Like,
Hey, it was my nice cutoffs.
I guess if we're promoting the show, I mean, that is what it is. This is always what you look. Let's be authentic.
Yeah, man. I'm like, I'm just a homeless friend. Like, I'll pretend like I'm a homeless guy. Don't mind me. I came for the free food.
Just don't stink, please.
Yeah,
Don't stink.
Sometimes it gets away from me. Whatever.
But it was awesome there too to have people coming up after and just shooting the shit about that kind of stuff and asking us questions about, how do you deal with this and how do you deal with that. And I think that is the beauty behind it. I think it helps you to solve your own problems too when you're helping to solve others. It keeps helping people solve problems, puts you in a really positive mindset.
With that and like teachers become the best students. Like you're learning as you're teaching something.
Right.
Like
Absolutely.
the more you teach it, the better you're getting.
I'm way better at stuff when I teach it.
Bro, you went into it's okay. Anybody that's listening to this right now, like Tony did a talk. This is what it actually was. Tony went to do a talk for
A company.
Yeah. He went to do it. Anyways, he went to go do a talk for a company, and like the dude went into like presenter mode, and I was like, damn, that's Tony. Look at Tony up there. He's shredding it, and it was great watching him he kind of like transformed into like a different dude, and he went into like presenting mode. And at the end, he was like, man, that wasn't good. And I was like, bro, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have a different feel off some crowds. And I appreciated you saying that. And then, you know what? It's funny because you'll think that you didn't hit it, and then you'll get some feedback.
Yeah.
A couple days later, and it's so positive. And so it just shows that you always do have that self-doubt. And we talked about Steph's question at the start. And I told you this. So that was a really small gig for the podcast. But this really big one I did for Dynamic Shift, right, where I'm a facilitator for Sean Bacon. I represent him, and it's such a respected company. And it's very hard because he's the only person in the company before me. And now he's using me to replace him. So companies are really want him, and then they end up getting me, basically, right? So I kind of feel like I'm behind the 8 ball when I walk into these groups. And so when I went in there that day, and it was a higher fee than I've ever charged. I'm like thinking to myself, like the night before, I'm almost in like a panic attack. Like, what am I going to, like, their expectations are going to be through the roof. And so that morning, I got up early I worked out right away.
Yeah.
Right away. Ice cold shower right away. And then the first time in my life, I know there's a good buddy of mine, Joe Strong, the guy who runs the gym stuff up in New York. I just went and talked with them in Arizona. And he's a big believer in the mantras. Like he says in the morning, like, I will do this. I will do this. I will do this.
Yeah.
And I literally stood in front of my hotel mirror in a towel and I said, they are not paying you for today. They're paying you for the last 46 years of your life. They're paying you for all of the things you've done and seen.
Bro.
They're paying you for all of the experiences that have tormented you, that have helped you to grow in all of your successes. You do provide the value. And I just kept saying it over and over and over to myself because like I was having trouble believing in myself that morning. So that's another thing, like to go all the way back to the morning wood question is like, you know, having that mantra, like you are beautiful, you are strong, you know, something like that. And you know, just 3 or 4 things to repeat to yourself every day. And some people do it like Fahad's trying to build his business to be X amount of dollars. It's like, I will make $30,000, whatever that number is, right? I will make $1 million this year. I will meet 5 people today. I will, you know.
It's awesome. Your words, like, and it's crazy because, you know, you're saying it, but you're also hearing the words. So like you're saying it, so it's like leaving your body, but your ears are hearing it, so it's also coming in. So you're saying and hearing. It's doing more than just one thing. You're also thinking it. It's like you're becoming like fully immersed in it. Like I am, or I will. Like, you know, just being the person that you're aiming to be.
Yeah, and it worked for me because that day that I'm talking about, you know, a month ago now, presenting, the feedback was exceeded expectations.
Unreal.
Return on investment, phenomenal. Like it was, and you know, you go in and deliver. And I think like, you know, I saw you put something on the 3 mistakes that people make in wood making, you know, that woodmakers make. And I think what you said in there was don't charge enough.
Yeah.
What was another one?
I don't remember off the top of my head right now. Yeah, not charging enough for one.
There was 3 of them that I feel like you said for woodmakers, but they apply for everybody.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and
delegating was another one.
Yeah, we don't delegate enough and all those things. There's just so much stuff in there. So go ahead, please follow Mike, follow me for more nuggets of information. And no, honestly, so you guys can comment and stuff, and we can have better discussions like this. We got some good customers. We got some good people coming on the show in the next couple of months. We're very excited over it, and looking forward to delivering you guys more quality content for your entertainment purposes, and hopefully you learn something along the way.
Yes, and keep asking the questions. I love that question. That's a fantastic question. We talked about it the whole time.
It is a fantastic question. Oh, and one more thing I gotta say out loud so people hear it is that, like, in the last 10 days, I have had at least 3 people tell me how much better the show is because you're on it.
That's actually hilarious.
Right, so like kind of an insult, kind of a compliment all at once, but I don't think that they meant it as an insult at all. I just feel like you've brought this show up another level, and you know what? And it shows because we haven't missed one.
That's
you know, because I love doing it. When I was doing it solo for a bit, it was hard, and I was not enjoying myself. You know, once Casey kind of left, I lost that like right hand man to kind of keep me accountable and keep the conversation going. And I feel like you've taken it up even another level.
Well, I think the main thing that I want to address right now is that you just gave all the viewers like this visual of you standing in a mirror with a towel, talking to yourself in the mirror, saying, "I am beautiful." You know, I think the viewership is going to go up high now.
Yeah, I mean,
they're gonna love you, bro.
I mean, yeah, there's lots of abs that made that easier to say, but I never said the "I am beautiful" part. That you know what, confidence has never been my problem when it comes to that kind of stuff. But yeah, anyways, you guys, you know where I'm going with this. Have a great day, have a great week. Please like, follow, share all the things that help us to grow this podcast and our mission to help everybody do more for others and be more for themselves.
Let's go.
Over and out.
Peace out.